Hello everyone, and now welcome to, well, a Game 1 series. This is taken from the NetEase ladder, as it is going to be a game between Remind and Yumiko. Remind has spawned as the red Night Elf player at what I'll call the 5 o'clock position of Twisted Meadows. Meanwhile, Yumiko has spawned as the blue human over here at what I'll call the 8 o'clock position. Relatively close spawns, as we do see an Ancient of War already coming down by Remind, and things are already getting underway. My apologies already for, well, the constant placement of those rally points. You're going to hear that flag hit the ground quite often. I know it can be rather annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it. As you guys can tell, the fog of war is off, and there's only 2 players, meaning I cannot, I can't watch and truly observe this game. We'll see how all of this does unfold here, as an Altar of Elders has been completed and a Demon Hunter will be trained. Alongside that, an Archer will most likely be trained out of this Ancient of War, attack the Ogre Warrior. Ancient of War will uproot itself, and then attempt to clear out this creep camp relatively quickly. Demon Hunter may try and pull up that Forest Troll Shadow Priest a little bit earlier, just because, well, Abolish Magic is that useful. We'll see how all of this will be unfolding next. Meanwhile, back down across over here, Archmage is about 60% done. Militia should be clearing out, as well as a Footman has decided to wander off in the counterclock position and will find his opponent attempting to creep out this location. There's the Wisp. Here's a bit of damage. There is that, well, a little bit of damage right there, as the Footman just getting a run by pelting of those arrows from the Archer. All right, are we going to see the Forest Troll Shadow Priest? Yes, we are. Boulder to the head on the Forest Troll Shadow Priest, already to start things off, as the units are now going to be getting back into position. Demon Hunter has not yet gotten Mana Burn or Immolation or any ability as of yet. Meanwhile, we can see that the Archmage is coming back across over here. Is this Militia going to get taken down? It looks like he should be returning back to work, but it looks like he'll be just fine at 25 health and currently recovering. Very, very good micro there by Yumiko. Well, nope, I take it back. What he had done moments ago is that he had purposely tried to pull back with multiple units, and now the Archmage is looking to finish off the Forest Troll High Priest, get to level 2, and then grab that Tome of Experience, since it does give a flat 100% or 100 experience, rather than the Forest Troll Trapper and the remaining units, which will give slightly less experience, since, well, the hero is at level 2. I can explain that perhaps a little bit better later, if you do so care to ask. Demon Hunter is coming back across here. It looks as though he's going to try to pick off some of these low hit point units. There is a low hit point Wisp. Water Elemental now trying to head away. Let's take a look at this. Mana Burn already down, 45 mana lost, as the Wisp are going after this, or running away now from those Footmen. Archmage trying to get away, no boots of speed. Demon Hunter, no boots of speed either. And, well, the Archmage is just as fast as that Demon Hunter as they head back home. No tech to tier 2 as of yet. We are getting up an Arcane Tower, and I'm quite curious as to what Yumiko's tier 2 or mid-game strategy is going to be. He does pick up Boots of Speed. He will be able to outrun that Demon Hunter now, but the Demon Hunter does have a potion of less, or a full invulnerability, 15 seconds, to be able to deal a lot of damage without really risking very much. All right, you can take a look at those Militia now trying to back off here. What's going to happen? Archmage now joining in on the fight. The Archmage does, in fact, have Brilliance Aura, but that is going to come back to haunt him as he gets Mana Burn for 50 mana again. The Militia not able to set up an expansion off to the north here. The Ogre Magi still sleeping peacefully as Yumiko tries to figure out what his long-term strategy will be. Back across over here, you can see the Tech to Tree of Ages about 45% done already. And that is going to mean that we're going to have a significant tech advantage coming across here. Remind going to really just benefit from the additional heroes, and perhaps some Dryads as well, as the Demon Hunter now is looking to venture forth and get in some extra damage. Demon Hunter once again with the Mana Burn, and this is just a beautiful play by Remind so far, keeping this Archmage in check. Are the Militia going to be able to perhaps venture forth and take down some of these units? It does not look like it. double Forest Troll Shadow Priest now pretty much means not much can be done, as we now see a Goblin Shredder also hired up. Goblin Shredder, very powerful. Does 34 to 61 damage, has 600 hit points and 3 armor. It can be repaired by those wisps. However, it cannot be healed by that Forest Troll Shadow Priest, as we'll see the units now try to get in position. There's a mana burn again. Demon Hunter constantly keeping the remaining units in check, as we may see the Goblin Shredder perhaps try and turn back around here. Demon Hunter, however, has taken a fair bit of damage, and that could be a little bit of an issue, as the Demon Hunter doesn't want to use that potion of invulnerability unless it is absolutely necessary. Demon Hunter, all he's doing right now is just trying to buy time. He will end up getting a panda, and he's buying time for that panda to join in on the fight while delaying that expansion. Alright, Militia now heading back off to the north again. Demon Hunter gonna go ahead and do a bit of chasing. Demon Hunter does not have boots of speed, as the panda is now gonna be joining in from the back. If he engages this creep camp, that is going to be very bad news, as the Archmage is now trying to, not get himself trapped in a corner, as the panda could get off a beautiful breath of fire, hitting about 6 to 7 units, as the units are now all trying to pull back. The panda perhaps going to get a little bit more time. A defend now on the footman, as it is a full-on surround across all of these units. Breath of Fire taking down some militia, as the panda now with a potion of lesser invulnerability, he's gonna use it. He's gonna have 15 seconds of invulnerability, constantly fight back, and perhaps another Breath of Fire could go off. There's the Breath of Fire. There it goes. Multiple units gonna get taken down, but the Goblin Shredder is lost as well. And I'm not quite sure who actually came out ahead in that fight. Archmage sitting at level 2, nearly at level 3. Meanwhile, there is a lone wisp down across here. Temple of Boom could perhaps try and train up an additional Goblin Shredder, as the footmen now making their way across here. It looks like damage will be done, and there is the quick detonation. However, it does not remove Scroll of Regeneration. Now, during this time, the Demon Hunter wants to stay close to home. Staff of Preservation, what was that about? There is an ensnare right there. There is going to be an engagement, as the Rock Golem perhaps trying to go after the Archer that is all the way back inside. And that was a beautiful pathing strategy there. As you can see, the Rock Golem getting taken out. The Ancient of War in a beautiful spot. The Archer fired an arrow and then teleported back home, causing that Rock Golem to try and chase all the way back here. Now, it is not really that far as the crow flies, but walking distance, well, a lot of time was bought. Back across off to the top left now, we see 7 militia turning back into peasants. We're going to see a town hall and the economic advantage that Yumiko wanted to establish so long ago, just now getting started at the 8-minute 20-second mark. Demon Hunter does have Boots of Quel'Thalas and Slippers of Agility, giving a total of +9 attack. With that mana burn constantly keeping that Archmage in check, that Archmage, can have a bit of problems. Druid of the Claw Adept training has been completed for the Night Up, as the Demon Hunter now ventures forth to try and shut down the Town Hall. Not much can really happen there. Meanwhile, Panda doing a great job clearing out the remainder of this Ogre Magi. 5-3, I think it's a 5-5-3-3 creep camp, as we now see the panda gets up to level 3. Does also have Ring of Regeneration, as we now see the attack come into play. Water Elementals, Footmen are engaging. Dryads are coming across. That Water Elemental has seen better days, as it disappears into nothingness. Panda, with Ring of Regeneration and Breath of Fire, can really get in the fray and still deal a lot of damage. Meanwhile, all of the footmen and the Archmage taking an interesting path, trying to run away in a position that is kind of difficult to spot. All right, there you go. You see the units now trying to get caught here. Dryad's going to get some slow poison. No, there is some reflection already going down, as the Demon Hunter trying to chase after more of those units. Back across, Goblin Zeppelin now up in the air. We could see picking up and dropping of units, as one lone footman is going to be in trouble as it gets caught out of position. Panda, sitting at level 3, has an Orb of Venom. Most likely that will be given to the Demon Hunter a bit later.
Research finished.
As the Demon Hunter is the one that really gets into the fray more often than not. Goblin Shredder is also currently going to work, going to town. There's a Breath of Fire hitting some of those towers, and all the Panda needs to do is just back off, go back in, and time this ever so correctly. All right, let's take a look at this. Is the Goblin Zeppelin gonna go ahead and drop off inside? Yes, it will, and that is gonna be a problem. All right, are we gonna see a Breath of Fire? Yes, we do. Picked up, dropped back down as the Panda just wandering around back and forth. It looks as though all the units are gonna try to get away, but without any riflemen, there's not gonna be any real way to get the damage across all of these units. There's a Breath of Fire, and there's a scroll, or a healing scroll right there being used. Panda now picked back up, as I believe was that a Tome of Retraining? I'm not 100% sure, no way to really tell until a little bit later, but damage has been done as the Goblin Zeppelin now hired back up. Back across over here, yes, it is a Tome of Retraining Blizzard raining down across all those units, and you can see how much damage was dealt right there. All right, that Goblin Zeppelin could have been taken down as the Demon Hunter now trying to get in position here. A lot of damage coming back across here. Is the Archmage in a good spot to try and blizzard down the remaining units? No, it is not. One good blizzard could have finished it all off, but instead, the Archmage now running back around at home. Can he perhaps get a blizzard across all of these units? Not quite yet. Archmage now trying to run back here. There is a big mana burn once again. Dryads in that back line, the only things that can really get blizzard, and well, there's no point in blizzarding Dryads as they are in fact immune to magic. Back across here, we can see Wisp just scouting out the position. Economic advantage, Town Hall with tier 1 masonry upgrades. We are at Keep. Are we getting a Mountain King? No, we are going for a Blood Mage. We could be going for an AoE strategy. Flame Strike and or Siphon Mana, both are very, very powerful. However, Siphon Mana up against the Demon Hunter, as long as the Demon Hunter has some mana, well, you end up losing that battle. Archmage in a bit of trouble. What is he going to do next? He's trying to hold all of this off. Are we going to see a Scroll of Regeneration? Blizzard now coming down across multiple bears, as the bears in the Druid form taking big damage as well. That is going to be a big problem. Meanwhile, we can see some damage now coming back and forth. Once again, Arcane Tower needs to be repaired. Arcane Tower removing much of the mana from that Panda, as Blizzard is still going down and destroying all of these Druids of the Claw. Archmage is still in position, is going to be able to finish things off here. Archmage could get mana burned again. This could be very, very bad news. Is the Archmage perhaps going to... What is going to happen? There's a Siphon Mana. There's the Blizzard. And wow, in a tight spot right there. So much damage to be had. Archer going to get taken down. Panda could get taken down as well, as the Archmage now back up to 257 mana. Blood Mage, with that Brilliance Aura, essentially acting as the mana battery for that Archmage, making sure that Archmage is always topped off on mana. Druid of the Claw, the big problem is that Rejuvenation is effective against 1 or 2 units. When you do absorb that much damage across multiple units, things go awry very, very quickly, as the Druid of the Claw down to 59 hit points and rising. Demon Hunter gets up to level 4, sells the Devotion Aura, quickly picks up a Tome of Agility. Meanwhile, back across over here, it looks as though, well, a quick pickup, and where are all of the units going to travel to next? We can see a Tree of Life has been placed down, a ninja expansion, so to speak, building towards your opponent in the hopes that your opponent doesn't scout out close to his base. Panda now making its way back down across here. Demon Hunter going to go ahead and knock on the door of the barracks. Guard towers are a bit too far. Mark of the Claw. They will be able to roar while in bear form, as the Sorceress is now going to be casting a bit of slow. Mana burn going after those Sorceresses. Sorceress taking a lot of damage. Sorceress going to get taken down. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter taking a lot of damage as well, as we do see low upkeep now from the Night Elf. Remind continuing the knock on this door. Meanwhile, Panda is going to be trying to re-get into that position as well, as the Archmage may be able to get some Blizzard down onto some of those units. No, there's a Rejuvenation again. Blizzard with slow, very, very deadly, as the Sorceresses prevent any sort of escape from truly happening. Economic advantage is going to be moot in just a moment. We're looking at 50 over 70 compared to 49 over 72, and as soon as this expansion is up and operational, both sides are going to be looking at the same amount of mana or excuse me, the same amount of gold, but Yumiko may not know that and may end up trying to trade 1 for 1 and end up becoming or falling behind. All right, Goblin Zeppelin does spot this location here as the units are now making their way back off to the north. Let's see what's going to be happening here. Demon Hunter, Bears, Pandas, all in positions, ready to go. Blood Mage sitting at 271 mana. Plenty of mana are ready, as we may see a siphon mana into that Archmage here in just a moment. There's a Breath of Fire, getting some easy shots once again onto that Blood Mage, as the Archmage and the Blood Mage now going to get healed back up. More Spellbreakers are being added. 59 over 70. Panda in that front line. Demon Hunter in that back line should be getting into that front line here in just a second. Panda still dancing back and forth as we still see, or we're looking at 0-1 upgrades for the Night Elf. We are transitioning finally into the Workshop. The Workshop just so powerful against so many of these Night Elf units. You can see mortar teams would destroy those Dryads in just a matter of seconds, as the Blood Mage still does not have enough experience to get to level 2. Perhaps Flame Strike would be extremely useful. Let's see what's going to be happening here. Archmage still sitting at level 4, as the Blood Mage now getting back up to 200, or getting back down to 285 mana after he topped himself off with the mana of the Demon Hunter. All right, Yumiko still working overtime on these 2 bases. Meanwhile, back down across over here, Remind enjoying the benefits of 2 bases as well. Flying machines are out overhead. What is going to be happening next, as we do see a low hit point Goblin Zeppelin down to 4 hit points. It does get shot out of the sky, so no possible Zeppelin micro any longer. Let's take a look down across here. No upgrades at the Hunter's Hall. Yumiko trying to recollect himself, trying to get back into the swing of things, as the Blood Mage, still sitting at level 1, doesn't have any real way of dealing damage except for playing in some support role for that Archmage. Front door. Oh, wait, let's take a look at this Fairy Dragon. Able to spot the Flying Machine and the Goblin Zeppelin. Archmage and Blood Mage are here, ready to go in position. There's a little bit of damage as the units are phase shifting. The Fairy Dragon's phase shifting to avoid that damage once again. All right, this gold mine has started to pay for itself, and that is going to be a problem for Yumiko. Yumiko before could allow his economic advantage to give him a great lead, but now that is not going to be the case. He has to engage at some point and know that he has to trade efficiently. Perhaps attacking at this entangled gold mine would give him enough of an economic advantage, or an economic superiority, as the Fairy Dragons, Dryads, and Bears now finally get into position. All right, there's a bit of Blizzard. Some damage being rained down onto those Bears, as the Archmage sitting at 385 mana and counting. Once that Archmage gets to level 5, those 10 waves of Blizzard from the Archmage would really make it difficult for the Archmage to run out of mana, save for some sort of nosedive from the Demon Hunter to try and mana burn off the 435 mana that the Archmage currently has built up. All right, Bears ready to go. Bears in that front line. Are we going to see? Yes, mortar teams are in here as well. 80 over 80 supply by both sides. Who is going to come out on top? That is the big question, as the Dryads and the Bears are now just currently poking at the barracks. All right, Archmage, for some reason, is not nearby enough to really do damage, but you can now see slow Arcane Tower Archmage going to try to get some Blizzard in. Is it going to be able to hit some of those units? Yes, it will, as now even some of the footmen are getting rained down on. All right, here's the big engagement. Mortar team shell-shocking his opponent. Blood Mage currently invisible. Perhaps he can try and get in front of the Druids of the Claw, and that would be a big enough deal. All right, some Ivory Towers now being placed down. Blood Mage now siphoning mana away from the Panda. Drunken Haze, anti-magic potion already coming across, as the Blizzard has rained down once more. Roar stolen from the units, as we now see a mana burn go down onto the Blood Mage. Blood Mage relatively low on mana now, but the Blizzard is still dealing significant damage. Are we going to see a Scroll of Healing? Yes, we are. The Spellbreakers are now going to attack back here. Blood Mage could siphon mana and do so from that Panda. Panda now out of mana as the Blood Mage may try and siphon mana away from that Demon Hunter here momentarily. There it is, siphoning mana away from the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter not going to be able to mana burn at all. Staff of Teleportation as the Archmage is going to continue to try and blizzard down units. One bear has been taken out. More bears taking more damage as a Fairy Dragon, well, just outside of range, going to be having a bit of problems. Archmage didn't look like it got very much experience at all. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Night Elf army. Night Elf army has taken some serious damage across all of those bears, and he now needs to find a way to rejuvenate across multiple units. Short of Scrolls of Healing, there is no easy way for Night Elf players to heal multiple units just like this. Scroll of Regeneration, well, is a human attribute as we now head back off to the north, perhaps going to try and go after those rock golems here. All right. Gold mines has collapsed. Main gold mine now taken down. Main gold mine here. Wow, 8 minutes and 86 seconds left, ready to go. Are we going to see a big engagement here as one Spellbreaker easily getting taken down? All right, still more damage going across the board. Meanwhile, one Flying Machine now at 2/2 upgrades trying to get away. Is the Archmage going to be able to Scroll of Town Portal back? Pendant of Mana, Tome of Strength, quickly picked up by the Blood Mage, and the Blood Mage with 580 mana may try and make a bit of a play, perhaps siphon more mana or give it to the Archmage, and then the Blood Mage could also do a good job with all of that Flame Strike. Flame Strike and Blizzard working together can deal terrible damage across the board, as it is going to force a bit of zoning for all of these units to get away. Bears still heading back off to the top right now. As we are going into the late game, we can see that Remind does not have very much on the board as the Archmage now needs to back off. All right, there's that Blizzard. If the Bears want to make their way through, they're going to have to sit through a Flame Strike and a Blizzard in order to get in that damage, as we're still looking at more fighting happening in the play. There's a Flame Strike, more units getting taken down. Blizzard being added in as well. So much damage to be had as the Blood Mage could siphon mana, and there is another flame, or I thought another Flame Strike was happening. There it goes across multiple units. Breath of Fire, mass AoE, doing terrible damage, as you see the Demon Hunter may end up falling. All right, Scroll of Town Portal at just the right moment as the Demon Hunter escapes at 58 hit points. Demon Hunter in serious trouble, needs to heal back up. Where is he going to go next? You can see those Moonwells. Some of them are topped off. And, well, it is about to be nightfall, so this is the perfect time to try and get back stronger. Even these bears should be going into Druid form, healing back up from these Moonwells and heading back out into the fight. However, during this time, the Mortar teams were able to come inside and, well, destroy this Tree of Life in just a matter of seconds. All the Wisp are in a desperate retreat as we now see Remind without any true economy going for him. Main gold mine has been depleted as well by Yumiko. Yumiko is getting 7 extra gold a second, and that is pretty much it, as the units are now going to be going in for a last battle. 80 over 70 supply for Remind coming up against Yumiko's 79 over 90. Everyone, well, with pretty much the standing army, who wins this next fight will end up winning the game. If Yumiko can even draw even on this fight, he should come out ahead since he does have the expansion and is still collecting at least some sort of resources. Fairy Dragon trying to chase after, well, nope, Goblin Zeppelin going to go ahead and pick that up. Now is that engagement, the Blood Mage. There is that Blizzard. Are we going to see a Flame Strike? Yes, we are. Flame Strike Blizzard across multiple bears, and this is only a level 2 Blizzard, folks. It's not even level 3. Scroll of Healing being used again, and are we going to see another Blizzard? That seems like it'd be a perfect line to use Blizzard, as the Blood Mage, now sitting at level 3, could end up siphoning mana away from some key target. Archmage now trying to head back here, could turn around, try and Blizzard once again. Bears walking through so much And I believe as more and more bears are getting taken down, that is just going to be it. Beautiful Zeppelin Micro picking up units. As you can see, bear after bear after bear is getting absolutely destroyed. All right, units are now in a mad run. 40 over 80 supply for Remind. I gotta believe at least 60 for Yumiko. 58, 60 on the money. As the Archmage sitting at level 5, dealing 50 points per wave, up to 500 points, as the Blood Mage now is back on the scene. Blood Mage getting that experience. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Tree of Eternity has taken the long walk all the way off to the north to try and establish an expansion. This expansion has already been taken down. Entangled Goldmine about 200 hit points away, as it looks like Yumiko has already scouted this out. Goblin Sappers are going to be coming across here. There is that damage. Are we going to see Goblin Sappers going after the Tree of Eternity? And yes, we are. Yumiko takes this game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.